talk over this end of the world that of the Cheetahs and the Kings, and a proposed move, I suppose, to what would be a Pro14. How has that been received in the South African, in the rugby public, even from a fan's point of view? Is it taken with a healthy dose of scepticism, or is it something that they're looking forward to?
I think, well, first of all, it's relatively new. There have been rumours, abounding for a while. It was only confirmed on Friday that the Kings and the Cheetahs are going to leave, and it hasn't been absolutely confirmed that they're moving to the Pro, whatever it is, Pro 14, Pro 12. But I think it's a foregone conclusion. And I think most people are very excited because the Super Rugby has become a dog's dinner. It was this wonderful, wonderful competition between the Southern Hemisphere Big Three. Everybody played everybody else, and it was magnificent. Went through to a semi-final, and the winner came out. And that winner could say they were the best provincial side in the world, we believed, and everybody was happy. Since then, there's been a lot of dissatisfaction. The money men have taken over. The Australians obviously weren't qualifying, so they've tweaked it. And they've contrived it so you have this ridiculous system with 8 teams qualify. A side that finishes, way out of the top can end up getting into the knockouts. And apart from the start of the competition and the end of the competition, a lot of people have lost interest in it. I think that although the Cheetahs and the Kings have been the weakest sides, I think that fans over there are going to be pleasantly surprised because they both have big rugby pedigrees, one from the past. The Cheetahs, the Free State, are very, very famous, and they've got a magnificent rugby academy called Grey College, and they play terrific running rugby. They really do. They go and play running rugby. The other side is from the Eastern Cape, which, if you like, represents the hidden side of South African rugby. I mean, the racist past of South Africa, and the Eastern Cape was the heartland of the non-South African Rugby Board sides. There's a massive, massive tradition of rugby down there. It is very much the heart of, if I can call it, black rugby. It's running rugby. It's exciting. And although they started off very badly, the Kings side, they've had some marvellous results to the extent that they won in Pretoria against the Bulls last night. So I think it gives South African rugby 2 strings to the bow. And I think fans of the pro rugby up there are going to be pleasantly surprised. I think it's great.
From a logistical point of view, there has been rumours that the South African teams would play their home games out of London. It takes a little bit of the romance away from it. If that were the case, I mean, I could imagine nothing better than Munster playing both their South African games, if it was to pan out that way, in the space of 2 weeks, and basically having a South African camp and going home. And if the South African teams were on the road, that they would do likewise. They would play 2, maybe 3 games on the road in England, Ireland, Scotland, Ireland and Wales, and then return back.
Well, Rafa, you used the word rumours. And the one thing about rugby, I don't know in general, but certainly in South Africa, you don't react to rumours. Obviously, money is an issue here. South African rugby has huge problems in terms of making ends meet, and that's why the television revenue that went down with Super Rugby has been serious. And we can't deny in a professional game money is important. So obviously, the lure of sterling or the lure of the euro would be very, very important. And this is just my own observation, but common sense says they should mix it. Maybe go and play from Saracens, which has a huge South African link, as we know. Maybe play some games there from Saracens. Maybe bring people down for tours of South Africa. I mean, I would think that the Ministry of Sport here would be very, very unhappy if visiting sides from Europe didn't come down, bringing their supporters in terms of promoting tourism, which is seen by many people as the panacea to South Africa's economic problems, because this is one of the greatest countries people can ever visit. And I say that with hand on heart. So I think the details have to be ironed out. I think the first thing is to say, look, it's going to happen, and then look at what's best for everybody. But again, I think that familiarity breeds contempt, and this is going to put something new on the table. And I think if it's handled properly, it'll be terrific for everybody involved. And I for one, would travel down to the Eastern Cape or the Free State to watch Munster, particularly the way they played this year.